Hello, welcome to day 3 of the challenge. So how are you going with the first 2 days? I hope you're enjoying the different experiences of opening to your intuition in the Akashic Records and, exploring different ways that you can do that. It's really wonderful to share with you from my work, so as you get to experience that, because I'm very inspired and committed to teaching people and to encouraging people to access this amazing resource, which is the Akashic Records. Because, hi Dion, lovely to see you here, because we can all access this. This is our divine birthright to access this. Sure, it's it's a learning to learn how to refine that, and the art of accessing the Akashic Records and receiving information and guidance. And I'm also offering this experience to give you the opportunity to experience how easy and natural that is. It doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be complicated, and it's something that we can all do, particularly if you're someone who, already gets those intuitive hits. That's really your spirit telling you that, or your angels, or, whoever you like to context that as, inviting you to develop your intuition more. So I hope you find these 5 days really valuable and encouraging to explore the Akashic Records more if this is something new to you. And if you're already familiar with the Akashic Records, I hope this encourages you to explore different ways of accessing information in the Akashic Records, because I find, for me, it's an ongoing journey. There's such a rich resource, and there's so many ways we can be accessing information and really developing our own unique ways to access information. And yeah, it's really unlimited. And as a creative person, I love that. So today, the focus is asking a question in the Akashic Records and receiving information. Receiving, guidance, information in your own way. So we'll be exploring that. I'm also going to speak to you before the guided experience. I also like to share some tips and valuable information so people have both more that like left brain and the right brain experience. So you can learn something in a more mental level sense, and then have the experience of actually doing it. So I'd like to talk about how to ask questions in the Akashic Records, because there's specific ways to do that, and also about working with intention in the Akashic Records, so important. And then I'll guide you through today's experience. I'd love you to share in the group. I'd love you to share about your experiences, and even if it's just a few words, just share with us. It doesn't have to be a big long share. Some people aren't comfortable with that, I understand, but sharing something's great. It encourages other people to share as well. Also, if you haven't watched the other videos, I invite you to go back and listen and watch video 1 and 2, because they're all designed in order. By all means, the listening to the challenge today is also complete in and of itself, but you'll find that fitting it all together will work well too. Wonderful. So thank you so much for joining me, whether you're joining me live or in your own time, because we're all at different time zones around the world, which is so wonderful and exciting. We get to share through this amazing technology. So starting off with asking questions. So, as you can imagine, the Akashic Records they're like a cosmic internet where when you open up, you're opening up to the possibility of accessing information, from your records throughout lifetimes and throughout time and space, other dimensionally if you choose, past, present and future. So there's so much information there. So it's really important, one, to ask questions and ask specific questions. Sometimes people wonder why they're not getting clear answers. And this is true with any intuitive work. If you're not getting clear answers, look at your questions. Look at, are you asking clear, specific questions? If the questions are, ambiguous, vague, unclear, doesn't work well. So ask clear, specific questions. You can ask more open questions too, but still clear questions. So some of the types of questions you can ask are questions that will have a yes or no answer. For example, is the root of this issue in a past life? If you get a yes or no, you can confirm again, is the root of this issue in a present life, and you should get the other answer. Or there could be a different answer. Sometimes the root of the issue is in the DNA. It's something that you've inherited, or it could be other dimensional or parallel lifetimes. So there's different possibilities there. However, for simplicity, I often find most of the time it's present life or past life, but there's those other possibilities as well. So that's a yes or no question. You can also ask open questions, so still clear open questions. So for example, what can I do today to align more fully with my purpose? Or what can I do today to express my purpose more fully? And then just listening for the answer. That's an open question, but at the same time, it's inviting specific, clear information that is really useful and actionable. Because like anything, information is not so useful often unless we do something with it. The same with intuitive information, guidance from the Akashic Records. It needs to be implemented. It needs to be implemented through change of behavior, through new actions. We can just sit and read about the Akashic Records. You can listen to this and, just be interested. And unfortunately, a lot of the time that's what's happening. Unfortunately, because it's a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity to actually create change, actually, create positive change, actually really shift to that next level if you don't do anything with the guidance in the information, and it just stays at the level of mind of just, oh, that's interesting. Okay, nothing changes. It's just like reading something. It's interesting, but believe we're here to grow and to evolve. And so, information that you receive, intuitive information that you receive when you actually do something with that, even a small thing, it doesn't have to be a drastic life change, but you're opening into that direction of your evolution and growth. So, that's the opportunity you have today with the question that is asked today and the information you received. I really encourage you to do something with that, to even something small. I know often taking action and creating change feels uncomfortable and challenging for many of us. And yet, that's where the growth is. We're not here, I don't believe we're here to just do the same thing, to be comfortable and not grow. Our soul is here to grow, and that's through doing what we think we don't know, through doing, you know, what our soul's urging us to do that is perhaps uncomfortable and new, because that's where we'll learn and grow. So, yes, I'm very passionate about the soul's journey, about the soul, you know, expressing from your soul what you're here to do, who you're here to be. I'm very passionate about it. I know how different life is when we do that to when we don't do that. So, and I'm always, you know, talking, and I'm often talking and focused on that point. Okay, so other types of questions. So a question, you might ask a question for specific information. For example, now this type of question is going to work better when you're already more familiar with accessing intuitive information, because it's an invitation to receive a message or a download of information still. You know, you can always ask and just see what comes to you. No doubt you'll receive something, but, you know, often this type of question is better when you get the hang of the process of working in the Akashic Records or, you know, receiving intuitive information. So you can ask a question, a request really for specific information. For example, what is the root cause of this issue? What is the root cause? So it's really an invitation for information about that. You know, what decisions did I make in this? What decisions or choices did I make in a past life that created this current situation? Because things don't just happen to us. Rather, we've created specific patterns, energetic patterns, and, you know, set up energetic in our energy field and attracting particular experiences because of choices that we've made. So the Akashic Records can really help you to unravel that and begin to understand, so this isn't just happening to me, rather I made a choice in a past life, often to go against my truth or go against my authentic expression. And often we do that for good reasons, you know, very good reasons, often perceived survival reasons, or real survival reasons, or, you know, to be liked, to be, you know, to belong, all these needs that we have. And so we make choices which go against ourselves and set up particular patterns that then we can begin to unravel, so we can come back to living more from our truth and our authentic expression. So the Akashic Records is really helpful to do that, to really understand what are the choices you made and how that's affecting you now. So it's not so much about, the way that I teach anyway, isn't so much about finding out all about our past lives. It's about finding out about, you know, what's affecting us now, so as we can shift that and, you know, correct that misalignment or pattern through awareness and through taking new action, and create a shift in our life, so we don't feel stuck in, you know, in old patterns resulting from choices we made. For example, you know, if you made a choice in a past life, you know, this is one I notice a lot, not to speak your truth. You know, for some people, for their souls, speaking the truth is so important, and yet again and again and again they've made a choice not to speak their truth. You know, and that's understandable. People, you know, you may notice people often don't like it when we speak our truth. Some people do, but many people may not. And so we learn to not speak our truth. Many of us have learned, that it was actually, would not be liked if we speak our truth. We would be rejected. We would be even ostracized from the community if we speak our truth. We would be killed, in some times. Speaking our truth may have resulted in that. And so we may have a huge fear or block to speaking our truth, that we can begin to compassionately understand and shift. So as you're here expressing yourself, how your soul is here to express, and not just from those old patterns and choices. You can make new choices, and with awareness, really shift those blocks and be living with a much greater sense of freedom and aliveness and energy from just even shifting one pattern and choice like that can just open life up hugely for you to be who you are, be the person that you're here to be. Certainly people that are in business for themselves, which many people are in my community, blocks around speaking your truth, and I think most of us have them, that they can really get in the way of expressing your message, of really being authentically you, which will serve you so beautifully in your business. I believe that for every one of us. So the more that you start to shift that energy around and understand and shift that energy around speaking your truth, you'll notice the people that you're here to work with will be drawn to that message, and that it comes from a more essential place in us when we speak our truth, not just saying, speaking our message from a more blocked and perceived like comfortable, safe space. That's not the truth, the deeper truth for us and the authentic message. So certainly the Akashic Records can assist you with that. Okay, so I wanted to speak about working with intention. So again, for similar reasons to questions, that the Akashic Records is, like a cosmic internet with, where you're opening to such an amazing resource of information and energy. So if you could just go into that without an intention, it's a bit like searching online without knowing what you're looking for. It's not that productive or insightful. So it's always good to work with an intention for yourself, or working with whoever you're working with, to start with a clear intention. So you open the Akashic Records with that clear intention, and even before the questions, that why you're accessing the records today. So there's a sense of purpose. So for example, I often open the records to ask for a message for today, ask for insight with a specific thing that's going into my life, in my life, that I may be finding challenging, asking for guidance on a specific thing I'm working on at the moment. So that's my intention as I open the Akashic Records. And then from there, I will ask the specific questions, and open the different vibrational records to for those specific things that I want to explore. So that sort of covers the importance of working with intention. Okay, so now we're going to do the guided experience part of day 3. So if you're in a place where you can sit comfortably and reasonably quietly, and take this time now I very much flow with the experience, so I'm thinking about 15 minutes or so that this will take. It can be a bit longer or shorter because I just flow with it. So if you have that time now, I welcome you to find a comfortable place to sit and relax and just enjoy this experience. If you're driving or not in that type of place where you can really fully do this experience, I invite you to listen to this later. Please don't do this while you're driving. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm just going to have a glass of water. Great. Okay, so starting with breathing. It's a good place to start. Taking a nice deep breath down to the belly. And letting the breath all the way out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Just letting go of anything from the day, letting go of any stress or tension, any busyness, any thoughts going on in the mind, just letting it go with the breath. And just finding your own natural breathing rhythm. As we continue, I invite you to imagine sending a grounding cord from the base of your spine right down to the center of the earth and wrapping that down and around a crystal right at the core of the earth, imagining that there's a crystal at the core of the earth that you can wrap this grounding cord around. Imagine releasing down through this grounding cord anything that you're ready to release today, any old energies or thoughts, feelings, anything you've been holding in your energy, in your body, in your field that you no longer need, that you're ready to release today. Just releasing that and letting it go. Anything that's not serving you from your body, from your energy field, releasing that and letting it go down this grounding cord, right down to the earth, letting Mother Earth transform that, repurpose that energy with gratitude for all that Mother Earth does for us, gives us and supports us and nourishes us. You might like to imagine opening valves in the center of the hands and the feet and just releasing any old energies. I often start to cough because when I'm speaking as I begin to open and hold this space for everyone on the call, on the video, and that will be listening to this, because I'm working, we're working outside time and space, so I can actually hold space for everyone who will listen to this now or at some other time. So I start to release that energy. Release that down to the earth and just feeling that nice grounded feeling. Really important doing spiritual work, intuitive work, to balance that with grounding. Releasing any old energies right down to the earth. And as you do that, feeling yourself just really ground and relax into the earth, into the energy of the earth. As if you have roots that you're just sending down into the earth. And through those roots, you can just release this old energy and start to just find that nourishment and support and healing even from the earth, really grounding into that earth energy, releasing and grounding into the earth energy. And I often really focus on this because grounding is so beneficial for our health and well-being, and many of us are not as grounded as we could be living in houses and the busyness and demands of life. So just really taking this time to ground into the earth. Nice. Just feeling how settled and relaxing that is, that nice earth energy as you become more and more grounded into the energy of the earth, of Mother Earth. Peaceful, grounding energy. I'm going to invite you to just take a deep breath and feel yourself connecting with the energy from Divine Creator, Divine Source, that light and Divine Source, the light, love and wisdom from Divine Source. However you understand that, and bringing that down. I'd like to imagine that as a white light coming down through the crown, right down through the center of your body into the earth, and all around you. So as you feel just held and enclosed in this energy, supported, nurtured. From that place, inviting you to come into your heart. Imagine washing your heart through with rose quartz colored light. Just washing that through. And opening into your heart space to yourself. Opening your heart to yourself first. And just really opening into your heart space. And from that space, imagine opening into the energy of the Akasha. It's all around us, interpenetrating with the physical and non-physical reality. Calling down the sacred energy of the Akasha to surround us. And feeling yourself opening to that with all of your senses, feeling, hearing, seeing, even smelling and tasting, opening. The more that you use all of your senses, the fuller your experience. Often with intuition, people just thinking that they see something and that that's the thing. But really all of our senses can give us that different information and perspective. And some of us are by nature more visual or more kinesthetic, more sort of feeling and sensing through the body. Some people are more auditory, hearing messages and receiving information, auditory information. Some people are more claircognizant, just receiving downloads or a sense of knowing something. All those ways of receiving information, part of this experience, and allowing yourself to open in new ways. If you already practice some type of intuitive work, I invite you to open in new ways through working with the Akashic Records. Calling in the guides and guardians of the Akasha. Calling in my own personal guides, guardians, teachers and angels. Calling in for those who wish this for themselves, to calling in their guides, guardians, teachers and angels to be part of this experience. Now, opening to receive information about this specific question today. Of course, you can design your own question, and I decided to ask a specific question today and invite you to ask that question for yourself. So, the question that I'm asking today is, what can I do today to more fully express my purpose? Express my soul, who I am, who I'm here to be into the world. And simply, what can I do today to more fully express my purpose into the world? And just noticing. I suppose taking a moment to notice. Notice what you notice as you're starting to open into the energy of the Akasha and open to receiving information and insights, however that shows up for you today. Just noticing what you notice first. Do you notice light or colour? I often notice a presence in the records, which I feel is and sense is a particular teacher or master. In this case, my body says a master today has shown up to assist me. Thank you. And or angel or archangel. Do you sense a presence? What's that like for you? How do you sense that presence? Is there a light or even a fragrance or a colour, or it might be one of your guides? So how do you sense that presence? Let's come forward to answer the question. Just often helps to explore that first. Do you have a sense of something, even just a light or a presence, a feeling, perhaps peace, or for me, I'm experiencing like I definitely sense a presence with a lot of light and love. I see that presence and just feel a very peaceful energy, almost a sparkly light energy that's not of this world, if you like. That's how I experience that presence. Just feel a lot of love and peace and support. So now opening to receive information on the question. So, what can I do today to more fully express my purpose into the world? Your soul's purpose, what you're here to do and be. Perhaps are you feeling something in your body? Particularly often notice in one of the chakras, it's the crown chakra or the third eye, the throat chakra. Is there something you need to speak? For the crown chakra, it could be more about being in your power or in your divinity, expressing that more into the world. Because we each have particular soul energies that we are here to express into the world. I call them your soul gifts, and so that's information that can come through in this moment of just how your soul's wanting to express your purpose more fully. You know, it might be something through the third eye, that sense of just noticing. If you notice something in a particular part of the body, is there a colour or a sensation there? A texture to the energy. Sometimes I notice the energy starting to clear a bit to assist me. Is there light in that, sense of light in that area, or a particular quality of energy? Because actually through the Akasha, you're being given the energy to assist you to express your, in this moment, the way it works is you'll be given that energy, not only information, but also that energy to assist you. You know, we only need to ask to receive. So here we are asking and receiving, opening to receive that energy. And information. Information's one way the energy comes through. There's also just energy. So you may feel that energy coming through in a particular way, perhaps as courage or love or strength. In a particular area of the body, that's exactly what you need to assist you to express your purpose more fully. Love, energy of love may be coming through, especially through the heart. Peace. And perhaps coming down through into the solar plexus, that might be confidence or that sense of strength also in yourself, and self-belief. Maybe the energy that's coming through. Come down to the sacral, maybe creative energy or energy of social energy to assisting you to get out there and network or speak to people, meet people, or the energy of pleasure, enjoying life more, sharing that in some way. Energy might be coming through the base chakra, which is often a lot about community and belonging, being grounded on this earth, being grounded and connected with Mother Earth, expressing through the body. So what are you noticing in a particular area of the body? What's the message you get from that? What does that mean for you? Is there something that it comes to you, perhaps just as an insight, or it might come to you just as an insight? Something might come to you just as something that you could do. It might have just come into your mind. Something, information can come like that. You just think of something. You might think of a place or a person. You might see a particular, landscape, or you might see yourself making a video, or going to a particular place, or you might see yourself holding a book that you've written, or writing something, or might see you here self-healing. The hands for healing can be very specific. Just have a feeling there's something that you'd like to do. It might just come to you. It can be something that you don't see how that connects with your purpose. You don't have to see and understand. That's the thing about intuitive information. It can be an invitation to do something, to paint. You may see yourself painting a picture and think, well, I don't think it's my purpose to be an artist. But, that's very left brain to have to analyze and break the information apart. If that's something that you've wanted to do, you're being encouraged to do it. And you don't know. We don't have to know. We don't have to see the next, 5 miles down the road and how that outcome, where that leads. With intuition, it's often seeing the next step and acting on that if that feels right for you. Of course, if something doesn't feel right for you, check that out. But it might be just a feeling to do something, to sing. You may have always wanted to sing in a choir, or to, might be have been wanting to go to a particular event, to do something, and that's coming to you now. Notice the feeling of that. What's the feeling you get with that action? Is it joyful, or is it a bit scary but also exciting? Is there something specifically that comes to you to do? What's the feeling of that? What's the color of that? Does it have a color? If you think of doing that thing, is there a color? Gold or red or orange, green, blue, violet even, or indigo, white. A feeling as you do that. Think about doing that thing that your soul's encouraging you to do. Is there a feeling, perhaps peace or love or joy? Pleasure, inspiration. I'm just encouraging you to receive information from different perspectives through different senses. So, and the question again, what can I do today to more fully express my purpose into the world? And just listening for a moment. Is there a word? Something comes to you auditorily. It may even come later. You might just be, when we ask a question, the answer comes. It comes when it comes. There's no pressure. If you're not getting anything at the moment, don't put pressure on yourself. Just know you've asked the question, and the answer will come. It may come in a dream. It may come when you're just washing the dishes or walking somewhere. Because sometimes our conscious mind gets in the way, and so it can be another time that the answer comes, but it will come. Come just as a feeling to do something, or a knowing. An idea that just comes to you at another time. If it's not coming now, that's fine. That's just, it's like planting a seed. Asking questions like planting a seed, and just comes. And then that answer just starts to, grow, and as you listen to that and nourish that and nurture that idea can just grow and blossom. So, asking the question again from a visual perspective, what can I do today to more fully express my purpose into the world? Notice if you see something, do you see a place or a person? See yourself doing something. You see it may even come as a symbol. Intuitive information comes how it comes. You may just see a colour. What does that colour remind you of or mean for you? You just see an image. Even see an image from a movie. What does that mean for you? I see a particular landscape or a country, or just giving you a moment. Again, if you're not particularly visual, receiving something visually, just allowing it to be what it is, just opening. It might just be about opening today to the possibility Just allowing your senses, maybe even for the first time, to just open to, so what might be happening today, if you're not actually receiving information, the Akashic energy is just starting to move through those, like clear those pathways, so as you can receive that information more easily next time. So you might just feel a sensation. Just notice what you notice. What's your experience? Okay. Just giving you a moment. Is there any other messages or insights here for you? Okay, so thank you so much for joining me, and I'm just going to giving thanks to the guides, guardians, teachers, angels, to every one that's been part of this spiritual experience spiritually, or for your presence here today, also listening on the live or at any time. Breathing back into existence, the door between worlds. The Akashic records are now closed. I'm just feeling really grounded back into the physical space, feeling your feet grounded on the floor. Taking a nice deep breath. You might like to journal or draw even. Any insights that came to you, and I'd love to hear from you in the group about your experiences, encouraging everyone to share and interact through this challenge. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this live, this video, whenever you're listening to that, and being part of this challenging experience. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, evening, wherever you are. Thank you.